I was expecting a disaster on February 21st of this year. Well, it's not like what's happening right now is not a disaster, but I was expecting a disaster on top of disaster. I was expecting Vladimir Putin to escalate and do something big, something unusual and perhaps stupid. Well, I was not the only one. Many Russians and quite a few experts were also thinking so. We were expecting the escalation. For one simple reason. Russia, right now, is losing. Losing on three fronts. Militarily, losing in the military way. Fighting Ukraine, losing diplomatically, getting ostracized from the international community, by the international community, and losing domestically, losing grip on the economy with possible catastrophic situation in Russian economy. And you know what? Perhaps I'm just saying it a little soft. In reality, it's a little more harsh. Well, so if nothing is done, then Russia will continue to be losing with increasing speed. My bet that if nothing is changed soon, then then situation will get changed. Either by something will get done, either by the generals, by Putin's close circles, his friends, by regular people, by someone. This situation, this what's going on right now, will not last forever. That's for sure. So I've given it a thought after the 21st of February, when Putin basically did a speech with a lot of do about nothing. I've been thinking. I've been trying to get inside Putin's head and assessing the situation as if I was him. And this is what I have found. Howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you news updates that I find important and what I think, and what explains what's really happening inside Russia today. What you will not find on this channel is BS, propaganda, and lies. What you will find on this channel is common sense, truth, and logic, and emotions, because I am a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian. First 30 minutes I deliver my daily message. Then, after, if you want, you can participate in a live stream chat, conversing, commenting, asking questions. I'd love to answer questions. I invite you to do so. Would love to have you involved in the chat after the message. So, I am Vladimir Putin today. And this is what I think. Well, first of all, the disclaimer. Of course, this is my interpretation of possible thoughts of another persona. Not necessarily that's what that persona is thinking, but that's what I'm thinking, that's what that persona is thinking. There you have it. Hope you understood what I've just said. Let me introduce myself. Let me begin. My name is Vladimir. I am over 70 years old. I've been the president of Russia for over 20 years. Well, with a little break, but I was the big boss anyway. I am most likely the richest man in the world and most definitely the most powerful man in Russia. I am the Caesar. I judge, I prosecute, I grant forgiveness, I pardon. I am the conscience of the country and I am the law. I am good because I know better. I know my country and I know my people. I know what they need. I know what the country needs. And I know Western politicians, but you know what? I have no respect for them. They can't secure the biggest prize, absolute power for life. No one respects people like that, so I think. They come and go every 4 years or so. I stay. I have the prize. They are weak, and I am the only one who is strong enough. No respect for the weak. I have friends. Oh, do I have friends? The best friends, really. They've been with me for so long, for life. They owe me. Hell, they owe me everything. It's good that I can trust them. It's good that I've been friends with them since I was little, I was young. It's good that I've known them for a lifetime. And it's just sometimes I wake up and I ask myself, can I still trust them? Are they with me because of my friendship or simply because of my power? Nonsense. That's just strong foreign medicine my doctors give me. By the way, I rotate these doctors often because those doctors are not my friends. I don't know them for a very long time. And that strong medicine, of course it's foreign. What am I, crazy to take Russian medicine? Yeah, right. Well, so coming back to this nuisance, Ukraine. It's become really annoying, you know. I certainly did not expect a long campaign. I did not plan for a long campaign. But hey, what's done is done. I can't really tell them people that I made a mistake. They'll have me for that. And my friends, well, they know everything. They aren't stupid, you know. My biggest disappointment is really in the generals. They couldn't get me the victory quickly. And they have stolen so much over the years that the army these days doesn't have much. So I can't go further, I can't advance, and I can't withdraw. I can't go back. Some would say I'm stuck and I am in mortal danger. Economy collapsing. Hey, you know what? Hell with the economy. Russia is strong, big, and mighty. Russia will prevail. I will prevail. And if in my place there were some meager Western weak president like Clinton or Bush Jr. or Obama or Trump or Biden, yeah, that'd be stuck and they would be on their way out. But I'm only 70. And I've been running Russia for 22 years, and I'm just getting started to liking it. I'll figure my way out. I always have. I always have figured my way out of everything. This is how I have been staying in the power for so long, and this is why I have gotten my absolute prize. This time, I will also figure everything out. So, in Ukraine, they think I'm stuck. Cannot go further. And I am punishing those people, silently, but oh, you better believe it, I'm punishing them. But they just can't advance, those thieves. And even my cook, I let him hire the hardcore criminals, the murderers, the cannibals, and the like. He promised me the victory, but he failed. I gotta do something about that guy, but you know what? That'll wait. I can't advance, and I can't withdraw. I can't go forward, because I simply can't, and I can't move back, because I simply can't. I will have a very hard time explaining the withdrawal. I have very good brainwashing. The best of the best force, really. But even they will have to use, in the case if we withdraw, they will have to use the propaganda of last resort, reptiloids. You see, we have already used the Trump card. The Satanists run in the West. A good one, huh? Yeah. The reptiloids is all we have left. So it's the last thing. There's no way behind, nothing behind reptiloids. So this is the propaganda of last resort. So I can't withdraw. And my enemies, oh, do I have enemies all over? They have started celebrating already. But they have started early because I am going to outsmart them. First, I have to do a few things. Actually, I've been doing them already. I have to absolve myself of responsibility. And Russia too. Well, I am Russia. So it's kind of the same thing, you know. Of course, everyone remembers how on February 24th of last year, 2022, I took responsibility and pressed the red button. I attacked Ukraine. But so what? I've told them many things. Like in March of last year, I told them that there will be no mobilization and Russia is not for the land grab of Ukrainian lands. Then I grabbed land and then I started mobilization. And what? That's right, nothing. And I will get away with anything this time as well. So it's not Russia who started the war, but it is Russia who's trying to end it. How about that, huh? It's a pretty good one. So I absolve responsibility. So everyone in Russia believes Russia is not the aggressor, but the victim. And then I want you to appreciate that. That's really, really good. I think it's genius. I will make this war faceless and colorless. This war will not have any goals. I will not declare any martial law or any situation. All the media and the officials will keep silent of the ongoing mobilization. No one will talk about special circumstances of this war. And of course, I will act there is no war and everything is going according to the plan. And of course, I will not call this war, just a special military operation. Just that thing going on in Ukraine. I will make sure this is not war situation becomes the new normal. Yes, it's tough now. Economy is struggling, but I will blame everything on the enemies, the Satanists that are running the Western governments. They have placed so many sanctions upon Russia. They want to destroy its sovereignty. They're after Russia and the Russian people. They don't want to see Russian people in the world, period. They want to just eradicate them, And perhaps just to make it sound more realistic, we will use the last resort of propaganda, the reptiloids. And they will believe me. Oh, yes, they will. They have done it before many times. Why wouldn't they believe me? Why wouldn't they believe me this time? Of course they will. I will create new Russia. It'll be built around the state, just like old good USSR. I miss that country so much. I've said it many times. The destruction of the USSR was the biggest tragedy of the 20th century. Not World War I, with so many millions dead, not World War II with so many million dead. It's just the old good USSR destruction. That was the biggest tragedy, with no million dead, no people dead. People, they'll have it good. I will take care of the people. I will take care of the people. I will give them money through social programs. The state will be there, act as if it was their mother or father, a providing parent. Of course, it won't be much that they're going to be getting. Yeah, I have my friends also who want to live very good and rich life. But that'll be enough for water, for bread, and for vodka. And guess what? That's just an ingenious idea. We'll give them free TV sets. Well, we might even shut down the internet. But hey, who needs internet? You have to pay for internet. And the TV that the state will give you and provide all the programs, that's going to be free. Nice. So they wouldn't starve to death. They will drink some, a lot. And they always will be entertained. Oh, we can do that well. We entertain people the best in the world, Who needs freedoms? Who needs money? Who needs travels? Who needs that stuff? They're going to be fed. They're going to be entertained. And instead of all that stuff, they will get the Holy Grail, the grand prize any populace can get. They will get the stability. Oh, they've been waiting for the stability for so long. Since the USSR fell apart, they want stability. They will get it. I will give it to them. The stability. The greatest Russian president, making Russian people absolutely happy, giving them the grand prize, the stability. And if I lose, well, you know what? That's not an option. I will not. Whew. What? What was that? Hey, it was like a dream, I saw a large eye in the ray of light, and the eye was looking right into my eyes. Ew, that was so sweet, It was sucking me right in there. The sweetest thing in the world, my precious, power. Oh, my friends, you know what? Don't ever let me do that again. Enough is enough. Konstantin, back to you. This has been my message for today. I hope you found it interesting, entertaining. And there were quite a few seeds, food for thought in my message. Thank you so very much. I'm going to be turning the comments on. I would really like you to stay and participate in the live stream chat. But before I do that, I'm asking you to help me out. Please help me spread my message by making reposts on the social media and join my Telegram channel called Inside Konstantin's Russia, where I keep you updated on what's going on the channel and make announcements and give some extra material. Thank you so very much. I'm glad to be back, and I would like to turn on the comments now. If you're not seeing them, please press refresh button and you will see the comments just like I did. Thank you. So, folks, what do you think? Basically, just give you a short summary of main idea. I wasn't actually, making fun of Putin, or I wasn't trying to entertain you. The message is he's trying to make this war the new normal. This looks more and more to the World War I situation, where the Germans, in the very first months of the war, they knew they were not going to win. They knew their plan failed. But they kept on going for 4 years, losing millions of people. They knew there's no way out. They knew if they would withdraw, then the politicians would be, taken out by the people, and they kept on going. So that's basically what I think is going on in Russia. They're trying to make this new normal. They're trying to have people get used to the idea They want everyone to have a social contract with the government. We will provide you the minimum living standard, and you just keep quiet, basically. And that's what's going on. So let me just open the chat in a new window. Bob S., Lorna, Mommy, howdy. Blackhead, Amir, Harry, great to see everyone. Thank you for coming, the usual suspects. It's been a few days without streaming, but I think many people watched my stream yesterday. Live, not too many people, but a lot of people watched it after it was over as a video. And I think you understand why I didn't stream. I took a few days off because I had a big family reunion. Still having it. So that was a little break from YouTube, and I simply could not take my time off the family to anything else. So that was the reason. There are a couple super chats. Kieran Whitfield, thank you so much, from England. Thank you very much. Jason Carney, thank you for coming back, and thank you for the support yesterday in the comment. I saw that, and today, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Mets fan, personally, Konstantin, I think you should lock Putin in the closet and never let him out. I will not. That was it. It was one gig only, that's it. Crusader Damien, howdy. Just one piece of advice. Putin and his cronies should travel light to The Hague. They have destroyed Russia and civil war is coming. Thoughts? Yeah, I've been giving thoughts throughout the streams. They have destroyed Russia. I absolutely agree. The civil war might be coming. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, if it's going the way it's going, it has been going, then something will happen. And that's something, I don't know what, but civil war is one of the possible scenarios. And this is really a tragedy for Russia. I was at the Breakfast Club today, and by the way, it was a very special day for me because for the first time, I actually was not seeking for people from Ukraine. They showed up because they heard from someone that there's a breakfast club, international breakfast club in Tashkent, and everyone is welcome. So there's a family from Mariupol showed up, and we had a great conversation. Fantastic people, fantastic. I'm definitely going to be making video about them. I made up a new rule. Anyone from Mariupol comes to Breakfast Club, they don't pay for their food. I do. No matter what they eat, how much, how many people. Anyone from Mariupol, food is on me. So they said, well, we don't want to do that, but I insisted, and I will insist. Anyway, so we discussed this. And Ukrainians, they agree with me, and most Russians agree also. It's done. The damage has been done. Titanic is taking water. It has been taking water, and nothing can be undone at this point. Titanic is going to go down. Russia, in the best case scenario, is going to be reborn. How and when and by who, I don't know. So thank you so much. These are my thoughts. Wanda, welcome back. So glad you had such a wonderful reason for being offline. God bless you even more. Thank you so much. Wanda, thank you so much for coming back too. Thanks for the support. Always a pleasure to see you. And Rudy Kaisley, you're tripping. Professor K in the US. We're about to indict the Trump card. US banks are falling, but hey, like with Vladimir, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, thank you, Rudy. Cheryl, exactly what it was, the eye of the Sauron. Anonymous, former French NATO commander, stated we need to prepare for Russia to collapse and it will be blooded bloodier than USSR collapsed. Your thoughts? Um, my thoughts, my thoughts on that. You know, the USSR disintegrated miraculously. It was a bloodless people's revolution because the reason USSR stopped existing, people took it on the streets, and the army decided not to shoot people. The orders were actually made for the army, for the tanks to shoot the crowd, but the soldiers, they didn't do it. The new Russia was born. Um, I tend to agree with this former French NATO commander. Whatever's going to happen this time is not going to be as easy as late August of 1991. And West will not be involved. No one will be involved. Enemies will not be involved. Russia doesn't really have enemies as far as I understand. Well, as far as I know, as far as I believe. Russia is the only responsible. Russian people are only responsible for what's coming up onto Russia. And this is what I think. Marv 2324. Putin wanted to be remembered like Peter the Great, but in reality has become the Ivan the Terrible. Can't argue with you. Also, thank you for answering my question about the orphans. I hope they're being treated well. Look, I went personally. I saw. My wife started the foundation like 15 years ago. Trust me, there's no full play there, foul play there. There's no any shenanigans. All the money, I wasn't giving them the money. They gave us the list of what we needed, and we would buy diapers, baby formula, baby clothes and stuff like that. So trust me, I knew where my money went. P. Bryant, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. And X-Flying Tiger from Lake Shasta, John and Nikki. I think I would seek asylum somewhere if I were Putin. What country do you think would be most likely to accept him? Or will he go down with a ship? It's actually a great question. I already answered it. It's not even a question. A lot of people in the West, there was information that Putin was something like getting ready to flee to Venezuela. In the Western media, that I read something, and one of the African countries, like his associates were preparing a palace or something. My friends, don't believe that. That is complete BS. Now, since, I've been thinking like Putin in the stream, let's put ourselves into Putin's shoes. He is the ruler of Russia, absolute power. He can do anything he wants to. He's been in charge for 22 years. Now, he's in control, in complete control. Say something is happening. He flies, let's say to Venezuela. There are two countries that can accept him, possibly, theoretically, are Venezuela, North Korea, or perhaps like an African country, The thing is, he cannot go incognito. He definitely will be recognized as Putin anywhere he goes to. I do not believe that he will be able to hide like Nazis were hiding in Argentina in 1945. So the moment he steps on the land of that new country, of his new home, he will place himself into the hands of the ruler of that country. And he's most certainly not going to a democratic country for obvious reason, but he's going to go to a country that is ruled by a dictator. For example, to Venezuela. Well, guess what the first thing the ruler of Venezuela does? He will lock Putin up. He will not put him into prison, but he will put his own guards around and he will be controlling Putin's bodyguards and Putin himself, like where they go, where they're allowed to go within the country. So Putin will be under home arrest, so to speak. And the next thing that person will do, he will fly to the United States and then he will negotiate the terms of exchange. He will betray Putin as soon as he gets a promise from the Americans to forgive all the sins. Okay? If it's who's this guy in Venezuela? If it's Maduro, I'm pretty sure he will fly and move to California, and he'll be living very nice for the rest of his life in a mansion somewhere, provided by either his own money stashed or the U.S. Taxpayers, for one simple reason, for giving up Putin. Okay. So Putin would never go anywhere outside Russia. Never, ever. So your question is, it's frequently asked in the West, but I mean, we don't even have to answer it. It's obvious. Putin will not leave Russia. He, in worst comes to worst, he will go down with a ship. Plain and simple. Because the moment he arrives somewhere else, he's down with the ship already, So that's my answer to you. Wanda, Konstantin, you're hot. Do what the great TV hosts do. Wear shorts. People can see from the waist down. Nice. I like that. Country for Putin to flee Antarctica. Yeah. Wanda, thank you for the advice. I will consider. Shorts is a good idea. Service spots. What is the status of the railways? I didn't get that. I'm sorry. Sam K. Yikes, Konstantin. That was dark. Felt like I was watching a play. Well, that was my first attempt. I'm not sure how it turned out. A+ Russian. Peter Feeney, I would vote for you, Konstantin, if I had a vote. Thank you so much. Fantastic message, says X-Flying Tiger. Thank you. Harvey Sutcliffe, feeling down today, but you make me smile. Howdy, howdy, friends. Well, I'm glad. Good evening from Sweden, says Kent35. Frank in Texas. Julie W. Actually, it's pretty good remark. The mind of Putin is insanity. I was thinking about that, but if it's insanity, then no one would know what he's thinking, really. I don't think it's insanity. He still shows up in public sometimes. He speaks. How well does he speak? Well, at least he can be understood and he understands other, you know what I mean? Eves 1, hello from Montreal. Howdy, howdy. Vernon Showers, what about Detalian? I'm not sure what Detalian is, and I don't know what about it. I'm sorry. Suzanne Samuelson, you're spot on, Konstantin. Thank you. Nailed it tonight, says Carol. Howdy, Carol. Luke, is Putin more afraid of Russian people or the Western boogeyman? If it's the people, will Russia follow China into a surveillance state? Very interesting question as usual, Luke. Thank you for your support and thanks for the question. The question is wrong, I think. You're asking, is Putin more afraid of Russian people or Western boogeyman? Putin is not afraid of the Western boogeyman because he knows there's no Western boogeyman. He knows better than I do, than you do, than all of us do. Is he afraid of Russian people? Probably not. because I think that he has a feeling he has complete control over Russian people, and he just, why would he be afraid of them? What I think who he's afraid of is people below him, his inner circle, the ones who run in KGB, the generals. Those people have actually real power, okay? And he's afraid of them. But definitely not Russian people and definitely not the West. He knows what's going on. If it's the people, will Russia follow China into a surveillance state? It has. Moscow is 100% covered by video surveillance. I made streams like a few years ago about that, how in Moscow metro subway they introduced a new system called subway pay, something like that, like pay as you go. They scan your face and they deduct money out of your account. There are systems that actually, if you cover your face with a mask, they still identify you because they know the way you walk, the way you move. The algorithms are so smart, they actually identify you. So Russia is in the surveillance mode. Meteor stable regimes are stable until they're suddenly not. Your thoughts? Yes, this is exactly what I think. Look at the USSR, look at the other regimes, look at the Eastern European countries. They fell down like card houses, just like that overnight. You see, the more rigid the system is, the more it can hold, but it snaps, it breaks. The less rigid, the more flexible. It it bends, but it does not break. It like pops up again. And I can compare stable regime, dictatorship, with a rigid structure. Then it holds, and then just at some point it breaks, snaps. And democracies, they can bend, but they get up again. They don't break. What's in your tea? Asking O'Donna. This is wonderful Twinings English breakfast. I'm drinking after midnight, but it's still good. Mark Bramlett, thank you so much. Good presentation. I'm glad you liked it. Jekyll N, thank you so much. No message today, but your support is a very powerful message that you sent from Australia. Thank you. I appreciate it. KG1, is Prigozhin after ruling Russia or maybe Ukraine and a big threat to Putin? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Well, first of all, I think he's not after ruling Russia. I mean, hardcore criminal. He had 2 prison terms. One prison term was for like over 10 years, I think. So he has no chances in Russia. Maybe Ukraine. I mean, ruling Ukraine, even fewer chances of that happening than Prigozhin ruling Russia, okay? And a big threat to Putin. Perhaps he was when he had his army of, I don't know, 40, 50,000 people. But it's been taking huge hits. Ukrainians have been just mowing his army. And he's been cut off from the arms supplies. He's been complaining about that for the past 3 weeks, going public, complaining and so forth, So I made a video about him. He's a dead man walking. Basically, he's not gonna last longer. Lori Hill, howdy. Enjoyed yesterday's stream. Proud family man. Yes, I am. Very. Look what my kids gave me. And you know what? I feel like simply the best dad ever to them. So this thought was interesting. A lot to think about in a thought pattern. Thank you so much, Lori. Thank you for support and thanks for wonderful words. And here we go. Never fails. Towards the end of the stream. Here we Theodore, howdy, howdy. Echo and horrific stuff. I'm afraid you're right. Me too. I'm afraid I'm right. Marv 2324. Have you watched some of Timothy Snyder's lectures, in particular his lecture for the Eddie Weissel Foundation? I have not. Should I? Well, when someone suggests something, I usually take notes. Let me just copy. There you go. I'll check it out later. Thank you. Constantine for the... I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not called to be president of any country or a politician. That'd be selling your soul. All right, looking for the question. What's the status of those two other fast train lines, other than Moscow-St. Petersburg line? Services spots. Oh yeah, I think that Nizhny Novgorod line or something like that. They've been out of commission. They basically took the trains and cannibalizing them for parts. It's been a year since Siemens pulled out of Russia and not servicing. So they're still running, but fewer routes. Basically cannibalizing the trains. That's all. Plain and simple. Luke King, does Putin idolize Stalin? That I don't know. I think in the past, in the 90s, he spoke critically of Stalin, but that I have no clue. Kaltenberg, Iran, I suppose. No way Putin will step his foot into Iran. Iranians are the smartest, slyest people in the world. Oh, they will wrap him around their finger. I think he'll stay as far away from Iran as possible. He knows that. Joe's Rames, I was a little disappointed with Ivan's assessment of Constantine. Dave Strange set them straight. I'm not sure what you talk about here. Pietros, howdy, howdy. Thank you so much. I don't think you can convince anybody that you're Putin. You don't have such talents. But if Putin tried to be Constantine, he would have convinced himself of being Constantine within a week. That's funny. Thank you. Well, I wasn't trying to convince you. I was just trying to be, to present a message and to be funny a little bit. Camouflage Ninja, thank you so much for your support. No message, but message powerful enough. I like the emoji. Joe's Rames, we're hoping the recent protests in Georgia make show Russian citizens that protests can work. Any chance of this? I don't think so. I think the Russians who support the war, they are very critical of what's going on in Georgia. And they're basically saying, you see what's happening? You see? They're rocking the boat. You don't do that, You support your government. So it sounds crazy, but I think that's what majority of supporters do think. And Georgians actually have been successful. They were protesting against the foreign agent law. They were trying to introduce in Georgia, just like they did in Russia years back. And they've pulled off that draft of that law. So they're not making foreign agents in Georgia. Wild wolf pack. My grandfather was almost 100 years old, was in World War II. He fought Nazis. His views are very similar to yours. Well, that's an honor. Thank you. Service pause. What is the status of the railways? Still just supporting the St. Pete Moscow line. 2 other lines were shut down. Present situation. It's not about the lines. It's about the trains. The lines are okay. I mean, nothing happens to the lines. It's the routes, the trains. The trains, Siemens does not service them anymore, does not deliver spare parts. Therefore, they can't service them, so they've shut down a couple of routes to cannibalize the trains, so the ones between Moscow and St. Petersburg keep on running. T-Rex, hello from Germany, Bavaria. Harvey, foreign agent for Russians in Georgia, if they get 20% from outside, for the fudge. No, not for Russians in Georgia. For Georgians in Georgia. The Georgian government was trying to pull the same stunt that Russian government pulled in Russia. So they were trying to introduce as foreign agent law. Allison Marlowe, howdy, howdy. 3,500 watching. That's good stream. I didn't see how many. Nice. Ooh. This is not the Bashan Russian People channel. Thank you, Lorna. Isabel, Putin must own an island somewhere or he would buy it also. What's the point? Let's suppose he buys an island in the Pacific. Uninhabited island. And then what? As soon as he moves to that island, the US warships will be surrounding that island and taking him to Hague. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make any sense for him to go anywhere because that puts him into mortal danger. He's only safe within Russia. He will not step foot outside of Russia, Petros, thank you again. Have you heard of Stephen Kotkin? Yes, I have. He knows Russian perhaps better than you do. And he definitely knows Stalin and the USSR better than you. And he's a genius. Still, he doesn't know Chizhevsky. Well, you know what? I know Chizhevsky now, so he must be not that knowledgeable as I am about Russia. So Chizhevsky is the thing. You know what I mean? So thank you for your support. Cancer Warrior, thank you so much for sending good wishes. Only thing saving Prigozhin is his African connections. James Rhodes, it's really hard to argue with that. I also think so. But they're not gonna save him in the end, Try strawberry and mango twinings. Love it. I tried everything. I don't like flavored teas. I like regular black or green. Brianna B, howdy, howdy. The French General Michel Yakovlev is saying NATO needs to be prepared now for the collapse of Russian Federation. He's saying that's happening sooner now than they previously predicted. Thoughts on this? If, you know what, I think that people base their opinions on the sad state of Russian economy. Like, they just announced the numbers for February, and the deficit of Russian budget was planned for 3 trillion rubles, and now 2.6 trillion is already used up in 2 months. So Russia is in the middle of economical collapse right now because it started spending more and it started making much less. So that's plain and simple. I think that's what they need. Economy is what can drive Russia away from Ukraine and make it fall apart. I believe that. Anonymous, thank you so much. Rene, Alexei Navalny. Well, I've said it so many times. He's the only alternative right now. I don't really like the guy. I didn't like him. There are a couple shady moments in his history, in his story, and I remember him from back like 2007, 2008. Couple things he couldn't explain about his life, and I think it's pretty low. But it definitely, he's political prisoner. He's in the prison for nothing, absolutely nothing, and they're trying to kill him. That's for sure. That's what I think of Alexei Navalny. He needs to be out of prison, and he needs to be given a chance to run for whatever he wants to run. You know. Edgecombe, Maine, Jimmy Penrose as usual. Howdy. My friends, I would like to keep Cheryl Watley. Karamurza was a great reporter. He's just completely innocent what he's being charged with. He's a political prisoner. What else can I say? It's a terrible tragedy. Barbara Green, no one wins in this whole conflict. No one wins in any war. You know, people have died already, so that's okay. My friends, wrapping up today. Trying to keep it shorter a little bit. So, as usual, I go into prayer and I'm asking everyone to join me and pray together. Thank you so much. Let's do it. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please give our children safe skies, peaceful skies above their heads, and healthy. Give them health, and please keep them safe. Give us wisdom so we keep their skies above their heads peaceful, and we will show them good example so when they grow up they become good people and change this world for the better. Dear God, please help stop bloodshed in Ukraine. The country has suffered so much. Please reach out and touch people who you know you need to touch. Fill their hearts with love, mercy, remorse, forgiveness, so they make this decision to stop the bloodshed. Please send every single Ukrainian an angel, so the angels keep people out of harm's way. Not every single a drop of blood is shed anymore. Dear God, please help all Ukrainians who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. Make their prayers heard and answered, and make their wishes come true. Please help my country, Russia. Send the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, to get rid of the demons who have jacked my country. Please make it right. Please send those who are traveling safe travels. Please help those who are sick. Provide help to those who are sick. Please help those who are homeless, cold outside right now. Please help those who are hungry, who are depressed, who are not well, who are struggling with their faith, who have lost hope. Send light to those people and surround them with your love. Thank you so much, dear God. God bless everyone who's helping Ukrainians, opening their hearts, wallets, homes, help providing help in any way. Thank you. I am asking for pregnant women. Please help them. If they're trying to make a choice whether to keep their babies or not, reach out and talk to them so they make the right choice. And please help us to keep our skies above our heads peaceful, because it's really up to us. So give us enough wisdom so we do that for ourselves, for others, and for our children, for our families, for the loved ones. Please give us enough wisdom so we do that. Thank you so much for bringing us all into this wonderful community. Thank you for allowing us to come together and pray. Please help everyone who's praying right now. Answer their prayers. Make the wishes come true. And please help everyone who is just watching us pray. Make their wishes come true. And shine your light upon them, please. I would like to ask you for a few people for the help that they need. They are Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Lars Henrik's mother, the Highwayman, Amanda Ridenour, and her roommate, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Choris and family, Outlander and family, David Porter and his wife and his daughter, all people of Chernovtsi, Ukraine. Enjoy every minute. Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Buzz Simon, Lazarus, Alvin's sister, Theresa D, Marsha Tucker, Garcia Castellanos, Terry Carter, Joe McMahon, Meta Spencer, Diana and family, Bree's friend, Carolyn, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Daniel Nine, Pamela J, Joel, Live, Karen Vasseur, Terry, and Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Ola, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, Igor, Karen from Maine, Jamie, Janine, Michael Milkowitz, Marlene, Paul Binns, Richard, Mallory M, Dirk Misler, James Rhodes, Terry, Hannah and her children, Richard Burris, Angelica at Life, and Sean Scan's family grandson, Grace, Barb, Randolph, Nelly, Arkady, and Yuri in Mykolaiv, and everyone who's in Mykolaiv, Ukraine, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Ian James, Doug, Rafaela From, Anna, Priscilla, Michelin, King Nero, Debbie Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Allison Dave Moyers, Terry Scrugg, Maureen M. and her sister, Mr. Hanson, Heidi, Bob, Tony, Kayleen, Rob, Umel, Jennifer, Matt, Ashley, and family, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, treasure for, please send good health, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy, and Grace Philosophy's family, including grandchildren, Maggie, Carmen's sister, Vladislav and his father, Sergey, Susie Myler, Gina and Wayfarer, EMS paramedic Liz, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Thomas Fall and his wife, Ann Larson and her family and daughter, and Florentina. Also would like to ask for special children. There are Maverick, Sebastian, Cadence, Theo, Madi, Coulter, Ansley, and 2-year-old niece of Karen Vasseur. Also would like to ask, they need your help, please. I would like to ask for recovery, speedy recovery, and good health, and the families need your support and strength. Also, I'm also asking for all children of Ukraine who have been affected, for all children who are missing, who have been stolen. Please help them reunite with the families, so everyone is found again. And I would like to ask for all children of Russia who need help, who have been affected by this terrible situation. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I'm back to normal streaming schedule every single day. Thank you so much. You're absolutely awesome and you rock. And before I go, I would like to say, and you repeat after me out loud: Carthago delenda est. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.